my name's David Gustin, and I'm the founder of FutureFitYou. And today I wanted to share with you just a brief story of how I got to start FutureFitYou. I'm not an ex-professional athlete or someone who spent all their life in the gym. Quite the opposite. I had a business for 30 years that I worked at primarily in here, and I also was the father of triplets. And like many of my colleagues that I've met through the years in middle age, they were busy taking care of kids, and they were also sometimes busy taking care of elder parents. So it was like we were squeezed, and so what suffered tended to be exercise. And we just squeezed exercise in, either by just playing basketball at night, or finding a game of tennis on the weekends, or going for a jog here or there, early mornings or in the evenings, but it wasn't something that we trained for with an eye towards what we were going to look like in the future. So let me give you a little story about FutureFitYou and how it started.
So what led me to FutureFitYou? Well, I was always curious about my health. About 30 years ago, I started doing yoga classes, walking down the street with my mat when no men did yoga. I was also doing Pilates class, and I was in classes with all women at the time. Core was the rage, and I was having some back issues, so I was really exploring. But I really started the journey to a FutureFitYou a couple years ago when a business colleague out of Chicago and I were talking about why I was shivering, and he mentioned that I was losing fat brown cells. And I said to him, "Fat brown cells, what are they?" And that led me to a man by the name of Dr. Peter Attia, who is a doctor around longevity and studies the science around health span. And I bought his book, Outlive, and I listened to a lot of his podcasts, and I learned a lot of sad facts. Some of the things I learned were how quickly we lose muscle mass as we age, how we lose our fast twitch muscles, how our VO2 max declines. But I also learned about training. I learned about the importance of strength training. I learned about the importance of zone 2, zone 5 cardio training. And there was another gentleman as well, a guy by the name of Dr. Kelly Starrett, and I had his book called The Supple Leopard. And Dr. Starrett is an expert around mobility and movement, and I learned a lot about different mobility drills that you can do and stretches and stuff like that in his book. So I started figuring this all out, and I realized that I can't take my future you for granted. If I want to ski in my late 60s and early 70s, I have to train today. I have to do knee strengthening exercises. I have to do knee mobility exercises, ankle flexion exercises. That's all important for me if I want to ski in later years. And there'll be things for you that will be important. So there are things that you can do today and start doing today to prepare for FutureFitYou.
So what can you do to counteract these trends that we talked about in terms of losing muscle mass, fast twitch muscles, and VO2 max to prepare yourself for a FutureFitYou? A few things. First of all, strength training. I had a friend today say to me that he does a lot of running and cardio, and that should be helpful for his strength. But I said, no, you have to really actually do the work and do the weights and do the strength training and do the squats and the lunges and things like that. So, that's one very important thing. The other is mobility. We need to improve our range of motion, men especially, and there are things that we can do on the mobility side to help us improve grip strength. You want to open jars when you're in your 70s or 80s. You want to be able to carry things. You have to have a good grip, and you can work on things there. Balance. We all need help with stability. We all have a side that's weaker than the other. I myself stand for 30 seconds on one foot as I brush my teeth. So there's things that you can do to help with stability. And finally, recovery. Recovery is very important as well. We tend to focus on training sometimes at the expense of recovery. And there are days that you need to take off. And on those off days, you can do some light stretching. You can do some foam rolling. And to be very helpful. So at FutureFitYou, with the help of professional trainers, I designed 30 exercises that you can assess yourself in midlife with your current training to see where you are and see where the gaps are and help you rethink your training plan. So visit FutureFitYou.com and look forward to seeing if we can help you. Thank you.